Okay, so imagine that, but the desiccated corpse of Stan Lee is dancing to it on marionette strings. As people bounce him around outside of Splash Mountain.
A lot of Marvel news happens every week, too much to keep track of. So Tom and I are going to chat about some of the Marvel stories that hit over the last few days and make uncomfortable jokes about them. What sick news will we be talking about? Watch the video to find out. So we are back to talk about some more Marvel news. A lot of stuff hit this week. It's been a surprisingly busy week. You know, I didn't realize how much would be hitting after Doctor Strange, but here we are. A lot of stuff has happened.
Weird, right?
Yeah, just crazy amounts of news to talk about.
Yeah.
So one thing to talk about. Let's talk about.
Well, let's get right into it. What
Let's
have you
just
got
jump
for me,
right
Brian?
into it.
Let's chat. Let's talk it up.
Anson Mount. Some of this is just me saying a thing to you, and you're going to be like, "Oh, that's nice." So I think that's what this is going to be.
That's okay. We're two dear friends, and not everything has to be mind blowing. Sometimes
Anson
it's
Mount,
just a couple of buds. Anson Mount
appeared in spoiler alert for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
I think you just gave the game away on your spoiler alert, man.
If you're watching this, you already know. And if you're watching this, thank you. Hello, all 10 of you.
If you're watching this, and you're not, you already know that Anson Mount appeared in Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness. And this was surprising, Storm from the X-Men. It was an out-of-left-field casting decision and a real muscle move by Kevin Feige in terms of whether or not he's going to bow to fan pressure. No, he returned playing Black Bolt from the Inhumans, a role which he famously...
whose birth name is
Jeffrey Black Bolt. Okay.
Blackagar Boltagon, which is the greatest thing that's ever been.
You feel good knowing that? Is that something
honestly,
that you feel good about having just
that's
ready
trivia
to go
I like having. Yeah.
All right. Good.
Blackagar Boltagon is the name.
You know what I like?
Black Bolt. Yes.
I like you and the fact that you're happy. That's all I want.
So
Blackagar Boltagon. I didn't know that.
You didn't? Sure you did. You must
I really
have
didn't.
known.
I was never an Inhumans guy. I liked Lockjaw because he was a great big dog, and that's as far into Inhumans as I ever really got.
Yeah. That was how they introduced him in the movie, Blackagar Boltagon, and then I think after that they just called him Black Bolt. But anyway, as you were saying, he played him in the reportedly awful. I didn't watch.
He has a nickname for his last name too?
Yeah.
The name Black Bolt is
short for Blackagar Boltagon.
First name and his last name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll just call you Black Bolt. Why?
Dry Rube.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like it.
B-Rub.
Okay.
Actually, B-Rub is a nickname that some people have given unto me. I have it on my apron.
Names and explanations. So, Anson Mount, who appeared in Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness, playing Blackagar Boltagon,
went on to Twitter and he said, finally able to discuss this without providing too many spoilers. Getting the call from Kevin Feige was one of the most unexpected of my life. It was an honor and joy to finally work with Sam Raimi, which I think he misspelled, who reached out to engage me on how best to do this. Beyond grateful for the experience, and then a exploding head emoji, which I just got just now.
It's a little on the collapsed nose, but yeah.
What's your reaction to that?
It's delightful. Man, in terms of giant surprises, I feel like that was the biggest one. Didn't we talked about this at some point when we were like, what do we want to see in Doctor Strange 2? And I jokingly said something about, they got to bring back the Inhumans, right?
Yeah.
Got to bring back them Inhumans. So like imagine being in that actor's position and like having poured probably a year of your life into making this TV show that then nobody watched just and fewer people liked, and then
immediately,
and then the guy running the studio that pretty excitedly canceled everything that had to do with anything that you worked on calls you up and says, "Hey, we want to do it right this time. Can you please come into the office?"
I mean, that's awesome. That's gotta feel great. A really good point that you bring up too, right? Because the Inhumans TV show was under it got shunted over to the Marvel TV side of things. So that was when Marvel TV and Marvel Studios were two separate entities at Disney.
Right.
So all the stuff that went on with Inhumans was completely off of Kevin Feige's radar, pretty much. So
Out
it's
of his
not
control.
right. It's not a surprise that, once Marvel Studios took over everything, that he just canceled all the stuff that didn't fit within the vision. So it's nice to see that was kind of folded in, but it also raises questions. I've seen a lot of articles online about this, like, how much does that show count now that we've acknowledged that this version of Black Bolt is out there somewhere? Is that show another reality that we'll refer to in some other way? Is that Earth 617, 615? Sure. Who knows? So it's interesting. And I will say this, that as nice as it was for him to show up, I infinitely prefer Anson Mount as Captain Christopher Pike on Star Trek Strange New Worlds, a show that we all prefer him. Loving.
Yeah.
On the subject of Marvel TV into Marvel movies, we've got a hot rumor out there.
Oh,
I think you heard about this. Yeah.
My hands. I tried to catch this piping hot rumor, and I've burned my little mitts.
Oh no!
What are we doing, Brian? I'm just trying to add a little color.
It's great. A podcast called from the Diz Insider, DISINSIDER, the Diz Insider Show. Insider? You know what I'm trying to say.
I really don't.
It's a podcast. They have a rumor. Diz Insider have a rumor, and they claim that they have heard that there is a show in the works starring Captain Peggy Carter.
Got it. Okay.
Yes. Diz Insider, like Disney. DIS.
No, I put it together. I'm just flabbergasted. So,
yeah,
we're talking about an Agent Carter show. You're saying a show about Agent Carter?
No.
That is revolutionary.
A show about Captain Carter.
Cool. Okay. Could they get Matt Braunger?
Who is that again?
It's one of the guys from the Agent Carter show. It doesn't matter.
And that's what I was going to say. I mean, I don't remember that name. Which character did he play, or was he a?
He was the scientist guy. He's a stand-up comic. He's very funny. I was being a snot, and I apologize.
That's okay. But I was going to say, I think that it's weird that this is being rumored for a character that already had a TV show, as you alluded to. Yeah. One that was actually one of the best ones of that group, the Marvel TV group. It was really good, and it was canceled way before it should have been, because season 2 ended on a cliffhanger, and I really wanted to know how things would resolve. And you never find out. So, what do you think? What do you think about the idea of a Captain Carter show? Do you think that this is true? Do you think it could? Are you interested in this?
Not a ton. I love that we got to see her in live action in Doctor Strange 2. I thought that was really fun. I loved that episode of What If. It hit all of the kind of pulpy buttons in my head for stuff that I like. But I don't know. I would maybe enjoy reading the comic about her. I don't know how much. Part of the problem with doing the alternate universes thing in live action is trying to figure out how many craps to give, right? Mm-hmm. Like, if we're invested in this original universe, it's a little bit kind of what I feel like turned people off of the comics in the first place, was having to keep track of all these different continuities and different universes and different stories and what counts and what doesn't. If we start doing that with the movies, I don't know, it just feels like diminishing returns, right?
Yeah, I agree.
That said, such a cool character, such a cool concept. I mean, I would love to see more stories with her, but I don't know how much of an audience are you going to get to? What do I know?
I think it's pretty unlikely that this pans out. It's a rumor. I haven't seen it corroborated by anyone anywhere. And it, like you said, we've already done a TV show with this character, one that was good. I feel like if you're going to do anything with Haley Atwell reprising her role as Peggy Carter after this movie, you don't suit her up in a Captain America or a Captain Carter outfit. You just continue Agent Carter if you're going to do it at all.
Yeah. Or do some more What If episodes.
Yeah, I'm all for more Haley Atwell. She's awesome, and
she's amazing.
she needs to do more stuff in the MCU. So however we get it, I don't care, but I don't necessarily think that this is going to happen. So anyway, now our final bit of news on the subject of people reprising their roles that make you kind of scratch your head and go, really?
Edward
Marvel
Norton.
Studios has signed a deal with Genius Brands International and POW Entertainment.
This is worse than Edward Norton.
This was reported in The Hollywood Reporter this week, to license the name and likeness of Stan Lee for use in future feature films and television productions, as well as Disney theme parks, various experiences, and merchandising. Said Andy Hayward, chairman and CEO of Genius Brands, it really ensures that Stan, through digital technology and archival footage and other forms, will live in the most important venue, the Marvel movies and Disney theme parks. It's a broad deal. What is your reaction to the news that the ghost of Stan Lee will haunt us for the next 20 years?
Excelsior.
Yeah.
Well, what happened to... Sorry, this is going to seem like a tangent, and maybe it is, because I lose track of things pretty easily. You know,
You're fine.
I'm barely lucid. Mm-hmm. When a couple of years ago, there was they were going to make a Vietnam movie, maybe World War II, and they were going to bring James Dean back to do it. Do you remember this?
Yes.
What happened there?
I don't know. I think there was a backlash, and I haven't heard anything about it since then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Until now.
It's uncomfortable, right? And a little gross. And I feel like the sort of thing that people were very reactionary about back when they brought Laurence Olivier back to do Sky Captain 15, 17 years ago. And then
didn't
they brought Brando back to do Superman Returns. What's up?
Didn't Gene Kelly dance with a vacuum cleaner at one point in a commercial?
Probably.
That's a thing that happened.
That guy would dance with anything.
Nobody, anyone who has an opinion on this, the opinion's always bad. It's either indifferent or bad.
Yeah.
Nobody goes like, yes, I'm so glad that the likeness of this person who is dead gets to live on in a licensing deal. Like, I'm obviously, I really hope that they don't do Stan Lee CGI cameos in future movies and reuse his recorded voice from like outtakes of recording sessions from like Big Hero 6 or whatever, like, or they just recycle his narration from the Spider-Man animated series to make him say new things in the next Spider-Man movie.
And here's the worst part, is because it's all digital, they can keep aging him up as time goes on. He just keeps aging naturally.
Until he's like a mummy by the end of it.
120-year-old man. Yeah.
In reality, I think what this will just be is like they're gonna sell like Stan Lee Funko Pops. They're gonna sell some Stan Lee action figures. Maybe they'll put them on some signs at the Marvel theme park rides, and that's it.
It keeps popping up in Lego games. Yeah.
Yeah,
totally.
I think that's really all that this is actually going to be. I think that the announcement of the deal includes all of the details to say, like, we will be able to do all of these things. We won't do any of them, but we can. That's the important part of the deal. Like,
we could hire an octogenarian to wander around a Disney park in smoky yellow sunglasses with a toupee slicked back and offer to take pictures with children.
Do you think that this is Disney's attempt to finally try to compete with Six Flags by getting a dancing old man theme park mascot, but it's Stan Lee?
Absolutely.
And
Let's
so
get
instead
Stan
of Mr.
Lee
Six,
in a
it's
unitard.
Mr. Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he'll wear the outfit, and they'll play the song. Sing the song for us. You know the song. Sing the
Me
song.
personally?
Tom. Yeah.
Which song are we doing? The Fantastic Four theme song?
The Mr. Six theme song from the Six Flags theme park.
We were in Knott's Berry Farm family. I'm sorry. Okay, so imagine that, but the desiccated corpse of Stan Lee is dancing to it on marionette strings as people bounce him around outside of Splash Mountain.
It's a nice time. All I can say, the last thing I have to say about this piece of news
Oh, you're
is
done
that
talking? Because I'm not. Sorry.
as gross as this is to me,
And it is.
I honestly think this is what Stan Lee would have wanted.
That's the thing, right?
He loved it. He loved being an ambassador for Marvel. He loved making himself a character in Marvel, about Marvel, for Marvel. Years after he left the company, his name was on the comic, Stan Lee Presents. You know? Like he was all about this. So as unpleasant as I find this as a human being, as a fan of Marvel Comics, this fits right in.
Oh, yeah.
So
he was a mascot, you know?
And he loved it. And he was great at it, honestly. Like when you say he was a mascot, it's easy to kind of think of that in like a negative connotation, but
I don't
for
mean
Stan
it in a
Lee,
negative way.
He loved it. It was everything.
You look at that guy on stage, like even in his 80s and 90s. I mean, who's the last really happy 90-year-old that you saw? He always seemed like he was having a blast, and like he was grateful that it happened.
Now all we've got is William Shatner blasting off into space.
You haven't checked your Twitter yet, have you?
Oh, no. Anyway, what do you think of this news? What are your reactions? Do you want to see the CGI reanimated body of Stan Lee dancing around at Disney World? Let us know in the comments. Bye. Thanks for watching Everything Marvel. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more videos about your favorite Marvel stuff is coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.